Hey guys, today we are making 2 delicious snacks for your kids at home, DIY versions of kind of the in-store processed, artificial dyed, not so healthy for you snacks. So first I'm going to make some applesauce pouches. These are so easy, literally take maybe 5 minutes to make, put them in their jars and clean up. Like, so easy. You could do this all the time if you wanted, in so many different variations. And then secondly, we're going to make gummies, like fruit snacks basically, which are, I do not buy anymore, but my kids love them and crave them and want them all the time. So every once in a while I will make a batch at home for them to have. So if you're new here, I'm Addie. I'm a mama to 3 little girls with 1 more on the way, not sure gender yet. And this is the kind of stuff I like to do here. So let's go and see how to make those smoothies. So to start, you're going to need a blender. I have a Blend Tech, and you guys, I cannot speak more highly of this. I've had it for about 6 years now. I have 0 complaints, literally 0. So in your blender, you're gonna want about 1 cup of water, a heaping cup of mixed fruit, a scant cup of frozen avocado. I say scant because I'm having another green in this smoothie, so I didn't want it to be too overpowering. Here, this is frozen kale, and I'm going to do a heaping cup of that as well. Again, these recipes are totally customizable. I'm gonna go ahead and put a few more of my favorites in the comments, not the comments, the description box below. So if you want more ideas than just this, go check that out. So what I'm gonna do is basically pulse this. I'm pulsing it to try to bring it all together and make it nice and smooth so that it's a smooth consistency when my kids drink it out of the pouch. If you need more, instead of adding more water, I add a little bit of applesauce to give it a little bit more liquid, and just continually pulse to see, if it's coming together at a good consistency. If it's still not, with a little bit of applesauce, just add a little bit more. We're gonna use half of that. That's a brand new jar of applesauce. We're gonna use half that jar in this recipe. So as long as I don't use half of it to kind of blend this all together, then we're good. But here we go. This is about the consistency I was looking for. And as it's pulsing, I can see it's good. So I go ahead and hit that smoothie button. And the smoothie feature on this blender is just great. It literally gets rid of any kind of thick pieces, like any seed type things. Like, it's just so good. So I know it's going to be nice and smooth when this runs its cycle. It takes about 45 seconds, I want to say 49 maybe. When that is all done, you're going to go ahead and take the rest of your applesauce. So for me, again, I'm trying to use half that jar, and just pour the rest in there. Then you're gonna just kind of spin it around, just kind of distribute, mix it all together. I do this and I don't blend that last bit of applesauce because I want it to still have a little tiny bit of applesauce consistency that my kids are used to from the store. Once you're done blending it, you just take these reusable pouches. We love these. Again, I've had these for about 4 years and they are still going strong, and I just fill them up and seal them tight. As you fill these, if you get these, there's one thing you'll realize is that you cannot fill them to the top, or when you try to close it, it will overflow. So you kind of just learn, like here on these packs, I use the back as an indicator. Like, I know when I fill it up to about this white box that I need to stop so that I can close it without it coming out. So you'll have to, kind of learn that as you go, but just did want to give that warning. Then you basically just keep filling your pouches until you're done. The pouches that I have them linked in the description box. They are 5 ounces. The ones I got came in a pack of 6. They say they're dishwasher safe, but I always hand wash them because I think they last longer that way.
Go.
You want one?
Wait.
You want one? You gonna try it? Okay.
Wait.
Is it good? Yeah. You like that? Yum. Oh. Any extra that I have then, I will just put in a jar to refill from, during the week. So once you get these guys in the fridge, then one of the very first kitchen hacks I shared when I first started my YouTube channel was how to easily clean a blender. And that's why I love these, because I could make these every other day and it's no trouble. It's applesauce, some frozen fruit in a blender. So let me show you how I clean it really easily.
First things first, you're just gonna get a quick rinse in. It does not have to be perfect. You don't have to get every little bit, but just give it a quick rinse, and don't forget to give the lid a quick rinse as well. When you have that, you're going to put one drop of dish soap in there. That is all it needs. I promise you do not need more. You're going to press that pulse button for about 4 seconds. And when that is done, it is clean. It has washed itself. So you just rinse it out. It's clean. You're done. Next up, we're going to make some fruit snacks. And the first thing is to wash your fruit. I'm doing strawberries and blueberries in this one. Once you have it all washed, I give my fruit just a little chop to make it easier to blend. And I'm using 2 cups of strawberries and blueberries, not each, just a total of 2 cups, as well as 3 dates that I've just chopped up there. The dates I'm using as both healthy and a little bit of a sweetener, just so that I don't have to use as much in the recipe. Once I get that all pre-chopped, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stove with 1/3 cup of water. The water is just, again, to make sure that it can blend well. I'm using my immersion blender here. It's an option for you, but I actually did end up moving this to my blender because, like you saw, like you know, I just have like the best blender around, and I didn't want to fuss with this. So I thought it was going to save me a dish, but like I said, the blender is so easy to clean, so I went ahead and just did it in there. Once the blender has it all smooth, I went ahead and added a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. You could also use just sugar if you want. You could use honey, but basically you want a sweetener in there, because if your kids are used to those gummies from the store, they are gonna want some sweetness in here, I promise you. Once you have that in there, you're just gonna give it all a stir. And I cook mine then for about a minute just to make it nice and combined, I guess I'll say. Now, I used my blender to make it smooth, so I do not have to do this step. But if you don't have the blender I have and it doesn't come out as smooth, or you use an immersion blender, then you're gonna need to do this step, which is to strain it. And that's because you don't want seeds and big pulpy pieces in your gummies. Again, I did this just to show you. If you have a blend tech and you put that whole juice function, you will not need to do this step. I promise you, I did not need to do this. But if you don't, a strainer is your next step. When you've got it all strained, you're going to put 1 ounce of gelatin, plain gelatin, into the mixture. I use this Knox gelatin brand, and it's basically 3 packets as an ounce. So I just put all 3 packets in and then stir it up over heat. And you're going to want to heat this up while whisking constantly, like the whole time. And I do it for about 5 minutes. It takes me about 5 minutes to really get it all, melted, blended, stirred really good in there, whisking constantly. When the 5 minutes is up, you can transfer it back over to the measuring cup you used. I like this one because it has the spout on it, so I would definitely recommend something with a spout. And if you have a syringe, you could use that as well. You could put it in any container and then use the syringe to put it into the gummy molds, but I just think this one with the spout is just fine. Now, as you go to pour your mixture in your molds, I would recommend putting a cookie sheet or a plate or something underneath the mold so that when you have to transfer it to the fridge to set, you don't have to move the mold around and risk it spilling. That way you can just move the plate and it will remain safe. So again, as you can see here, I am just pouring, and you want to make sure that they are, filled to the top, and then just transfer them to the fridge. It takes about 1 to 2 hours for them to fully set. The smaller the mold, the quicker they set. And I really like these silicone ones because when you do it, you can literally just turn them inside out and they come out really, really easily. Not all silicone molds are the same. They have some that do not pop out like this, and I really don't like those. It is harder to get those out and they sometimes break. So I would definitely recommend ones like this. I have linked a few different options of ones that work for us, in the description below. I did also want to show you that if you don't have a silicone mold, you can use a mini cupcake tin or something like that. Just fill it a little bit.
What do you think, Rose? You like it? Is it good? More? You can have one more. What do you think?
I love it.
You love it?
When you have all the fruit snacks out of the molds, transfer them to an airtight container and store them in the fridge for use that week.
All right, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.